Welcome to No Clear Answer, a place where questions remain and the truth is never certain. Now, let's move on to a real-life story. In November 2011, on an ordinary night in a small coastal town, a 4-story old apartment building stood quietly. The building was silent. The windows were closed. On the street, only the sound of the wind and the occasional passing car could be heard. Up to that moment, everything felt normal. At exactly 2:17 a.m., a night guard working at a construction site across the street looked toward the building. Later, in his statement, he said, "The light in the apartment on the 3rd floor suddenly turned on. There was a silhouette behind the curtain. It wasn't moving. It didn't look like a person." The security guard said the silhouette remained completely motionless for about 20 seconds. Then, without warning, the light went out and the figure disappeared from the window. "If it had been a person, I would have seen some movement," he said. "But what I saw didn't feel human." At nearly the same time, the woman living in that 3rd-floor apartment woke up from her sleep. She said the room was completely dark. The first thing she noticed was that her bedroom door was slightly open. Later, in her police statement, she said, "I locked that door before going to bed. I'm sure of it." She explained that she felt like she wasn't alone in the room, even though she couldn't see anyone. "It felt like someone had just been there," she said, "but there was no sound, not even breathing." She added that she checked the time. It was 2:18 a.m., 1 floor below. A man said he woke up suddenly because of a loud noise. He described the sound as strong but impossible to define. It didn't sound like something falling, and it didn't sound like a crash either. "It didn't feel like it came from inside my apartment," he said, "but it felt like it was inside the building." He got up and checked his door, then looked down the hallway. It was empty. However, he noticed that the main entrance door of the building was open. "That door locks automatically," he said. "There's no way it could open on its own." When he checked the time, it was 2:19 a.m. That same night, around the same time, a university student was walking past the apartment building. In his statement, he said he looked up at the 3rd floor and saw a face, a silhouette, standing in front of the window. "It was looking at me," he said, "and it noticed that I was looking back." The young man said the face was unfamiliar. It didn't look clearly male or female. A second later, the window went dark and the light disappeared. When the police arrived, they found nothing unusual inside the building. There were no signs of forced entry. Nothing was missing from the apartments. There were no security cameras installed. Everything appeared to be in order. However, one detail in the official report stood out. When the electricity records of the 3rd-floor apartment were examined, it was observed that no lights were on at those hours. Despite this, at least 2 people outside claimed they clearly saw the light on. The 4 witnesses did not know each other. None of them ever changed their statements, but their accounts never fully matched what had supposedly happened. Each version only made the gaps between the case was closed. In the official records, the night was described as an unexplained incident. No definite conclusion was ever reached. Even years later, the same question continues to be asked. Did something truly happen that night? Or did everyone shape the same moment through their own fear and perception? Because sometimes an event occurs, but no one sees the truth in the same way, and the answer is still unclear. Some questions never find an answer. This was no clear answer. If you enjoyed the story, like the video and subscribe.